Let's talk about alternative energy. There's a company now making fuel from wood using nothing but water. This is a company called Renmatix, and it says they can make ethanol from wood and woody biomass using nothing but water. And if they're right, this could actually be the start of a significant R&D facility in Pennsylvania to further explore the use of this type of energy. It could unlock a vast reserve of biomass that was previously almost untouched by the clean tech industry. What do you think when you hear something like this? The idea, Lewis, is cellulose in trees and other woody biomass is very tough, so it's been impossible to turn it into a commercially viable fuel. However, the idea is that at a sufficient temperature and pressure, water becomes supercritical, which means it flows like steam, but it's as dense as water. So it's not really a gas, it's not really a liquid, and it has a number of other properties, including that you can manipulate its acidity without actually adding any acid. And this is the secret to the Renmatix process, which lets you break apart usable sugars in wood and turn them into a fuel. What's your thought?
I mean, I'm fascinated by the process, and I think it's amazing, but I don't think this is what we should be focusing on.
Where should the focus be?
Corn, maybe, on something that's easy to grow that we have plenty of.
You know,
I mean, this is a huge problem. We can't even scratch the surface.
I have a problem.
I'm kind of worried about this because do we really need to be cutting down more trees? And at the rate at which we plant them, I mean, it would not even out.
The tree argument I understand, but the idea of using corn for even more stuff when it's already such a highly subsidized and corrupt industry.
It shouldn't be used to feed animals, for starters.
What's your thought on Lewis's corn thought, Natan?
Well, what I would say is that the reason why corn is used so much, like Lewis is saying, and it's so cheap, is because of government subsidies, not because of actual market value. So it's artificially cheap, and then it's used to make a bunch of food products and to feed animals and and even to make ethanol, which is bad. It's actually a lot better to do it the way the Brazilians do it, using sugar.
So, Lewis, what about that? That the corn isn't actually that cheap; it's just highly subsidized.
Sugar is fine too. I mean, the point is that there are plenty of things we can use to make ethanol. I don't think wood should be one of them.
I think this is a good time for my anti-hybrid rant. I leased a hybrid Honda Civic a couple years ago. Close to 3, actually. I have a few months left on the lease. I probably will not get another hybrid, and I've really gone through it all. I just don't think it makes sense financially, but I don't think it actually makes sense for the environment either. And my thought is, number one, the production of the batteries themselves, the hybrid battery, uses significant fossil fuels. I was actually looking at the way that the battery that's used in the hybrid is produced. It actually is initially produced. I don't know exactly the countries, but for example, it's initially made in Canada, the raw materials. Then it's shipped to Japan to be turned into this kind of foam that is used. Then it's shipped back around. Think about the carbon footprint just of shipping it all around before you even put it into the vehicle versus a regular Honda Civic, which actually the gas mileage is really almost as good as the hybrid.
But you're still using a battery.
What do you mean?
In the car. I mean, the carbon footprint, wouldn't you say, probably evens out?
No, I don't think it does. What I'm saying is, if you look, for example, my hybrid, I think, gets on average about 36 miles per gallon. A non-hybrid Civic still gets about 32 miles per gallon. Let's think, over the life of a 3-year lease, given all of the fossil fuels that have gone in to ship that battery all around, the resources that go into it, the fact that to dispose of those hybrid batteries once they are no longer useful also creates more waste.
What about purely electric cars?
Well, purely electric cars, I think, are going in a better direction, but where's the electricity come from when you plug the hybrid in?
Mm-hmm.
Coal? Nuclear?
Nuclear's pretty clean.
Well, then we're opening up another can of worms.
Hydrogen.
I think hydrogen is the way we need to be going.
Yeah.
That's right. And the question is, are hybrid vehicles and electric vehicles going to be a stepping stone to eventually get to the hydrogen vehicles, or are they actually going to simply create a diversion from the types of energy we really should be using?
I think they're stalling us.
You think that these are the reality is electric cars existed in the 50s too, but they weren't commercially viable the way the hybrid now has its appeal. I think I did not make the right choice by getting the Civic Hybrid. Tell me if I'm wrong. David at davidpakman.com. I don't believe I will be getting a hybrid again next time when my lease is up. Let's take a break. On the bonus show today, we'll be talking about a lot of different stuff. Among those things, I couldn't even tell you. I think Lewis will have to tell us later. No, I'm kidding. We'll talk about Pat Buchanan and black voters. We'll talk about a documentary mistaking video game for terrorism.
At davidpakman.com.